Right, we're recording again. Can you guys go ahead and mute your line? Okay. So sorry about that. Back on. So sorry. I'm going to upgrade. Run your business like business, Lindsay. Okay. So what I had just said before we cut out, it is said that there is a certain 20% of the activity you do in your business that's responsible for 80% of its growth, right? So only 20% of the 80% of your of the 100% of things that you have to do in your business, only 20%, that makes up for 80% of your success. So if you were only to do that 20%, you would have a lot of success. However, there would be a hole, and that hole is just as important, which is that 80%. And that 80% makes up that other 20%. So what those activities happen to be is awesome. They happen to be everything that you can control in this business. And they are the 3 vital behaviors, right? So I never let the importance of the 3 vital behaviors sink in until, get out of my way, until recently. Like, I remember, yeah, the 3 vital behaviors: invite, be a product of the product, personal development, right? But that's the top 20% of our activity that makes up 80%. And the reason is because invite. If you're not inviting people, no one's coming. Right? If you're not inviting people, you don't have a business. Being a product of the product, if you're not showing people that you're doing what you expect them to do and that it works, then you don't have a business. And personal development, if you're not continuously growing yourself because you think you don't need to, that was me. I was wrong. I thought I didn't need to grow my mind. I know what I'm doing. Well, no, I don't. Right? We all have our weaknesses, and we need to build those up, and they're going to change, and we're going to need different things over time. You need that personal development. These 3 things are what drive your business, and they're in your control. No one else's, right? You can invite 100 people today. No one can tell you no. You can work out and drink Shakeology today, and nobody can tell you no. And you can read an entire book today, and no one can tell you no. Right? You can do those things. So focus there, not on the uncontrollable, because what do some of our minds want to do right now? But people are going to say no, but I'm really tired, but I don't feel like reading. You know what? What's going to separate the top coaches from the people that stay stuck are the people that take those excuses, move them to the side, focus on the controllable, and just do them, because they're really not hard. It's really easy, and it's stuff that you just do. It's second nature, and it just pushes you forward. So self-reflection. I want you to ask yourself, are you consistently inviting? If you're not, I want to give you a goal. I want you to give yourself a goal. I want you to write it down on paper. How many people are you going to invite to a challenge group or business presentation or business opportunity in a week? Now, are you always going to hit it? No, because you're not going to force something uncomfortable, right? Or maybe you're going to go extra one week. That's great. But give yourself a ballpark. And with the inviting, really try to strategically place it. For an example, right now I am inviting for the 5-day sneak peek because it's on Monday. After that, I'm going to be inviting for my 3-day refresh because it's right after Thanksgiving. And after that, I'm inviting for my challenge group because it starts December 1st. And then from there, I'm going to be inviting to a 5-day sneak peek. And so you always have something to invite. In the Goal Getters, there's a picture. I just reposted it. I'm going to be making a cover photo where it's actually the background so that I don't have to say, go search for it. But it tells you when everything is consistently. And Amanda's in the Fit Warriors, hers is the same thing. Now, Amanda and I, for anybody that's new on here, her and I are success partners. We have been since the beginning. And so you'll notice that we work smarter and not harder. This is my business. It's her business, but it's ours too. Our coaches, we do a lot of things together to take some of that off of each other. So in her Fit Warriors group, you'll see that the schedule's pretty much the same, except maybe my challenge group is one week and her free clean eating group is that same week. That might be the difference. But are you consistently doing new programs beginning to end and sharing your results? When you do that, you're going to get a burst of attention. You're going to get a burst of people that are like, hey, you did that? That's you? That's awesome. But when you're not showing people that TurboFire did this from beginning to end, or the 21-day fix did this from beginning to end, you're just talking about them here and there, then you sound like a salesperson. You don't sound like you're a product of the product. And people are watching you. They're not watching Beachbody. They're watching you. What's your next program? I want you to write it down. What is your next program you're doing in full, beginning to end? Even if you're pregnant, you can still do the programs. They have a pregnancy one. I know a few of you are doing that. Or you can still do them, but modify. I did TurboFire throughout my pregnancy. So, don't hurt yourself, but definitely, look into that. And it's not that you're going to show before and afters as you're getting bigger with your pregnancy, but just to say, like, I'm doing this program. This is what it's doing for me. My energy, these are non-scale victories. My energy's up. Last pregnancy, or you hear so many times in pregnancies, this is going on, or, I've been sick, whatever it is, just make sure that you're sharing that and you're vulnerable about your journey. Are you consistently reading self-development every single day and listening to the morning wake-up call every single week? The morning wake-up call, I believe that if you want to be a top coach, you should learn from top coaches. If you want to be a 1-star, you should talk to people that are there. Whatever it is that you want to do, you should try to learn from those people every opportunity you get. The morning wake-up calls, Monday morning, you can listen to the recording throughout the week. There's a podcast. There's so many things. But you can listen to that. And those are the top coaches. Those are the people that are doing so well that corporate is handpicking them to give us tips on what they're doing to make them successful. These calls are important. A lot of times they're only 30 minutes. There's some recognition in the beginning. I used to skip past that, which would make the call shorter, but I actually listen to it now because I like hearing names of people that I recognize, or hear that, Melanie Mitro is in whatever on her third CBC. She has 4 stars there, or whatever it is. I like to hear where people are in their business. And then, what is your next book? So I want you to write down when you'll listen to the recordings each week. It doesn't need to be consistent. I know a lot of your guys' schedules change. So maybe one week it's a Tuesday morning on your way to work, you're listening to it. Maybe the next week it's Friday afternoon. I don't know. But when are you going to listen to it? Make sure that you're just writing that down every week. And then, what is your next book? I want you guys to think of it this way. So for some of you that are newer, and maybe I don't know, I just retired from my job as a hairstylist 2 months ago due to Beachbody and the income it provides for my family and I. And one of the first nights of me being home, I went to go to bed and I looked at my book and I was like, I don't feel like reading. And then it hit me and I was like, Lindsay, this is your job. Like, all you have to do is read 5 pages or 1 page or 10 pages or 20 minutes, whatever it is. It's just like when you used to work out on the treadmill and you'd get on and you'd be like, okay, I'm just going to go to 10 minutes. And then you get to 10 minutes, you're like, oh, I'm just going to go to 100 calories or whatever it was, right? You just keep pushing yourself up. But if you really were done at 10 minutes, you were. That's what I have to do sometimes with reading at night, because I'm so tired at the end of the day with being home with Owen, which is what I want. And it's awesome. But it's, definitely a mind craziness. So I just have to tell myself, Lindsay, this is your job. This is what's going to move your job forward. This is what's going to give you more time with your family. This is what's going to give you more options in your life. Pick up the book and read 2 pages, you baby. So, I'm not calling you baby. I'm talking to myself here. Tough love. So commit to these things that I just talked to you about: inviting, new program, what you're doing beginning to end, and your personal development that you're reading and listening to the morning wake-up call. Know your business. Recognize that this can change your life, but only if you choose to let it, right? Control the controllable. That's where the power is. And that is where the magic happens, is in that controllable. Remember, the uncontrollable is a very dangerous place to be. So don't stay there. All right. So that is the presentation. If I just would have started like 5 minutes earlier and not been chatting, then we would have fit it all onto one. So now I'm going to have to ask Amanda later how to combine them, right? Yay. Okay. So you guys can go ahead and unmute. And if you have any comments, questions, anything like that, whether it's about this or something else, now's kind of your time to have a little question and answer with, you know, Amanda, if you're in a group of hers right now, or me. Anybody?
I do.
Okay.
So Kyla asked me to do the booty challenge with her, but she's gonna close